is one of the cities that is extremely overrated. If you think that Sydney is all about glamorized, beautiful beaches, live city, summer, surfing, opera house, job opportunity, or even beautiful blonde hair guys, if today you think the same thing, hear me out, there is more about Sydney. And today I'm going to change your mind. So let's start it. If you don't have a car, don't worry. Living in Sydney is so easy to commuting around. You can traveling by train, tram, ferry, buses, or even Uber. Living in Sydney, you have to know the culture of tap and go, which means that we don't normally use cash that often. So every time that you go to buy something in the shopping center or in any shops, you will use your phone connected to your bank account, and it will automatically just tap on the machine and then you just go. It will take like less than 1 to 2 seconds to pay something, and you don't have to wait for any change because it's connected to your bank account already, so you just tap and go. I would say that it's very fast, very convenient, and it's applied to every shop around Australia as well. It's not just Sydney. So it's very convenient. You can also use tap and go on the public transportation as well. It can be used for everything when you want to pay for something. Does that make sense? The second thing that you need to know about Sydney is that Sydney is one of the most multicultural cities in the world. People from over 200 countries call Sydney home. This means that if you move to Sydney, you will see so many people come from different backgrounds. And if you walk on the street, you will see so many people speaking different languages that is not in English. It surprised me the first time that I moved here in Sydney and I walk on the street and I saw some people speaking different languages and it's not in English. This is not a bad thing that it is a multicultural city. It means that even though you come from Asian country or even European country, everyone in this city will accept you from who you are, which I really like it. And if you live here for long enough, you will know that different areas belong to each kind of people from different backgrounds. For example, if you go to Chinatown in the city, there will be a lot of Chinese people speaking their own native language. And if you go to Cabramatta, you will see a lot of Vietnamese people. Or even you go to Thai town, you will see a lot of people speaking Thai. Or if you go to, I think, Parramatta, there will be a lot of Indian people who live there, like majority of people who live there. A lot of them come from India or their background is Indian. Does that make sense? You know, like different area belong to different kind of people. But again, you can live in that area even though you're not from the same country as them. And one more thing that you need to know, if someone told you that I'm from the northern beaches, 80% of them are local. And I'm going to tell you more about the northern beaches. The northern beaches started from mainly DY, Narrabeen, and go up to Palm Beach if you see on the map. So this is the area that the rent is very expensive. The reason is that it's surrounded by the most beautiful beaches in the world. That is why it's so expensive and the lifestyle is so good. I used to live in DY and I go to the beach every day. In the morning or at night, it's very convenient. You just walk to the beach every day. But now I have such a big dog. This is my dog. This is what I'm talking about. Max, okay. Okay. Max. Oh God, I love him so much, but we couldn't afford to find an apartment in the northern beaches because it's so expensive if you want the floor ground or even you want the whole property for yourself to rent out. You probably have to know this. Living in Sydney can be a bit challenging because the house hunting is so dramatic. if you know what I mean. If you've been trying to find a place to stay, it is so competitive in Sydney market. You will see so many videos about people lining up on the street waiting to see just one bedroom apartment. Just have a look to inspect the room, the apartment, and they don't even know if they would get it. The thing is that it is really expensive for the rent here in Sydney. Sometimes people would offer more than what the market is. Like for example, if the price advertised for $450 for one bedroom apartment with bathroom with everything, and one person would actually auction and pay more than that. That person could offer for like $550 or even more than that, and then they will get the property. Yeah, that's insane. I've been there, done that, waited in the line, and it's so competitive, you guys. Like, if you find a place to stay, that is the best thing that you can do in Sydney. Oh, and I have to tell you that paying rent here, they calculate by weekly. Like, let's say if they advertise for $550, that's mean per weekly, that's not mean per monthly. And the rent here is usually paid fortnightly, which means that every 2 weeks you pay rent. So the best thing that I could advise here is that you can share with your friends, or you can live in flat share or something like that. It would help you with fighting with others to find your own apartment, your own place. For me, I'm living here. I never share with anyone. I'd rather pay a lot of money and have my own place. But this place, we lucky enough to rent a whole house, but we're not in Northern Beach. We kind of like not so far from the city, a little bit further from the Northern Beaches. We got the whole house for my dog to run around at the backyard. We got a good deal for $630. Sydney sometimes can be a lonely city. There's so many people in Sydney, yes, but sometimes you can feel lonely if you don't have friends here in Sydney. You probably feel homesick. I'm saying this because I used to experience that before. I used to live by myself. I don't have so many friends as I am so introverted person. It's hard for me to find some good friends. So sometimes it can be hard for you if you don't have friends here. So the advice here that I could give you is that join some clubs like book clubs or even sport clubs, or even go for a night out or something like that, so you can build some relationship with your friends or find new friends. Once you find some friend, the best thing that you can do, you want to live near your friend, because sometimes it can be hard in Sydney to travel to one place to another. I'm saying hard is because sometimes it takes such a long time, especially when you live from different side of Sydney. Like let's say if you live in eastern suburb and then if you live in Northern Beaches, it will be so far to get to one place to another. So the best thing you can do, move closest to your friend, find some activity to do together, find the same common habit or stuff like that to do together on the weekend, or even when you have free time, or trying to do new things together. That's how you make yourself more comfortable to live in another country that is not your own country, if that makes sense. So the last thing is that I think I should mention this. If you move to Sydney for like a while, you will face the difficulty of speaking languages. Sometimes it can be hard to speak English, and sometimes it can also be hard to speak your own language as well. I've been living in Sydney for almost 5 years, and I'm not saying that my English is perfect. On the other hand, my English is broken, and still my own language is also broken. And right now I am not fluent in any languages, you guys, but it might be different from some people. Like let's say I have a friend, she from Germany, and she pick up English right away. I would say that they probably speak English in their country as well, but not as much as their own language. But once she moved here, her English is fine. I would say that because German and English is quite similar, So that's why she picked up English right away and she speaks almost fluent English here in Sydney. But for me, if you come from an Asian country, we have our own unique language that is so different from English. So sometimes it can be hard for us to speak a proper English and we still have a little bit of accent in English as well. I know that it can be hard for you guys, especially for those who from Asian country. I feel for you, and if you speak English every day, I know that you try so hard. Even though no one can understand you, please keep trying. And please remember this: if you come from an Asian country, even though you have broken English, remember is that you are not valued by what you're speaking or what language you're speaking. Please know that you are worth enough, you are worthy enough, you are beautiful, you are unique, you are trying so hard to speak another language and they understand you. That's all it matters. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not good enough. No, they are wrong. We are good enough no matter what. Please remember that you are good enough. Well, those are the 5 things that I hope that you learn more about Sydney. I still recommend you to move here to Sydney or even just come here to visit. Sydney has so many beautiful things, so many activities that you can enjoy, or even if you want to traveling around Australia, I would suggest that as well. It's a very wonderful thing to do. And yeah, I love Sydney so much. I haven't been back home for 5 years and my mom keep calling me, when you're going to go home? And I just told her, no mom, I'm not ready yet. I still want to know more about Sydney. This is happening to me every day. So that's why I still recommend you to move here to Sydney, and you would learn so many things, learn something new here in Sydney, or even if you want to traveling around Sydney, you can do that too. Alrighty, I hope you learn a lot more about Sydney. I still suggest you to move here to Sydney. If you haven't been here before, just come here, visit once for a lifetime, and I'm telling you, you don't want to leave. Alrighty, I hope you learn a lot more about Sydney. If you have any questions, just comment down below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me thumbs up. If you want to see something like this again, don't forget to subscribe down below as well. And thank you for watching. Bye guys!